So today we'll be talking about instancing. I'm going to refer to this website a lot right now because it's actually really useful. So we're going to actually mostly talk about scenes and stuff like that, and adding multiple nodes and stuff like that. We're going to basically create scenes. We'll get much deeper into what scenes actually are, but you can kind of imagine them as a scenario. Like the game itself is a scene on its own. Because, like the main game scene where the player would run around and stuff like that. Now, you can actually break these up into multiple scenes with multiple nodes. And when you click on that node, it's going to hide its child nodes. Or it's going to show its child nodes, which will just make the organizing of everything a lot easier. And also they'll have this TSCN extension. And of course, you can create one main scene, which will keep a lot of extra nodes instead of it including a next scene. This is called instancing, and is what we will be talking about today. Now, I'll need you guys to please go download this. The link will be in the description. But this zip, you'll have to unzip it inside of your folder, and when you did, you'll basically have this after you have unzipped it. Now, if we open up Godot, and we say import, so we can browse all the way to, let's go here to this Godot and just boom boom, and go to instancing, this project.godot. If we open that, import and edit, then they have some template designs that we can use. And here you can see, here is their main node, and then their main scene, and then here is their next scene. So this is scene A and scene B. So if we go back to the website, scene A and then scene B, now we go to look here, scene A, scene B. So this one basically has two scenes, the ball scene and the main scene. So if we go here, here's a ball scene, ball.tscn, and then the main scene right here, main.tscn. And right here we can also see it, main.tscn and ball.tscn. So if we go here to the ball and we go hover over here, it's going to say type is rigid body 2D. We'll get a lot deeper into this later, but for right now, this is basically a type of object. Like the previous video, we talked about labels. Label was a type of object. Rigid body 2D is also a type of object. So yeah, and this is basically the ball scene. It basically provides physics and behavior to that specific scene. So if we go here to wall, you'll see it's a static body 2D. Now we'll get deeper into this later on as well, but basically it is something that can't move at the moment. It's just there. It's like the ground, and you can't really move the ground, can you? Like if you're in your house and you're standing on top of the ground, you can't really move that. And that's basically what this is. A wall right here is a static body 2D. Now we want to add an instance of the ball to the main scene, so we can have scene A and scene B in one scene. So if we click this little link right here, then we can actually select this ball.tscn. We can say open. And now it added that ball scene right there. As you can see, the ball has been added to this scene right here. So actually add it right here. Let's go here and just boom. Anyways, if we move the ball a little bit, so let's zoom in so we can move the ball. If we move the ball, let's say right here, and we run the code, we don't need to rerun the application, we don't need to see the code or anything. We can actually see the ball fall. It has physics. And then as we click, we can add more balls. It's really cool. It's a basic application, but it's really nice. And there the ball goes off. And this is basically, just ignore that, that was kind of interesting, but just ignore that, because this is basically instancing, adding a scene within a scene. multiple objects. Now, last time I talked about needing to copy things like the ball and stuff like that. Now let me actually talk about that. Oh gosh, I actually moved that. Okay, let me talk about it. Now, if you want to copy this, now you might think Control C, Control V. I don't know if that will work, but you can also just press Control D. And when you press Control D, you have a second object. Press Control D, you have a second object. And if you select two objects at once and press Control D, there's going to create two objects at once. That's pretty nice, right? And then if we run this, then it will create all of those objects at once. Now, of course, we'll get into creating all of this and all of that later on, but for right now, just make sure you downloaded that file, and we can use this. So let's edit the instance. Let's open the ball scene, the scene maybe, and let's actually delete all of these balls. Let's get rid of them, and we can just say delete nodes. There we go. Now we only have one ball left. Okay, so this makes our life a lot easier to understand. Here in physics, if we click on physics, it's going to expand physics. So if we were to click on ball and then once here at physics, it's going to expand. Now here is bounce. Let's change bounce to 1 and let's run these scenes and see what happens. It suddenly started bouncing a lot higher. Isn't that interesting? Let's push Control D and just copy this ball right here. Now if I click on physics, you will see bounce is 0. If I go here, bounce is 0. Now if I make bounce 1 and I go here, bounce will also be 1. Both of these ball instances were affected by that change. So both of these balls, even though we only changed one of them, both of them will be affected by that difference we made. Let's actually put that back to 0. Let's say we want to change only one of these balls. Right here at Tools, so Object Properties, Tools, choose one of these balls and just click on that. Make sub-resource unique. Then whatever happens to this ball right here will not affect this ball. So if I make this, let's say bounce 1, and I go to this ball, bounce will stay 0. Well, this one is 1. So if we run this right now, as you can see, one bounces a lot higher than the other. So yeah, that's a way to make those two different, so they don't change each other. And that's all I wanted to talk about. If you didn't understand anything, please feel free to go visit the actual documentation right here and just read through all of this, and it will actually display a lot of interesting info and helpful tips. I just showed you my perspective on it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and see you all in the next video.